everybody, I'm Samantha Ellinger with FedScoop TV. I'm here at FedTalks 2016 and I'm talking to Davis Johnson, the VP of Public Sector for Riverbed. Davis, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. So I have a few questions for you today.
Sure.
And first one, I just wanted to know, how have you really seen the game change, if at all, for federal IT in 2016? Has there been anything that's really kind of surprised you, made you think?
Well, it's not good to be too surprised in my industry, so hopefully we anticipate the changes as they come. But I think this will be the year of cybersecurity. Cybersecurity has been a key theme for many years, but I don't think anyone could have anticipated the degree to which everyone in the country, not just folks in IT, have become familiar with cybersecurity. When you have people in the presidential debates bringing up cybersecurity, it puts it front and center to everybody. So clearly cybersecurity will be number one for 2016, but I also think you're going to see a lot of people talking about what's been going on with networking. I think 2016 will also be the year at which people realize the network hasn't kept up, and there's going to be a lot of changes to networking technology going forward to support the way applications are being consumed today.
Great. And, kind of playing into what you just talked about, we've really seen more emphasis on cybersecurity in federal government with also new policy and hiring of the first U.S. CISO. How can industry really help support those changes?
Well, there's really two types of industry players, right? There are the folks actively involved with cybersecurity, and then there's folks like Riverbed who are, they're not traditional cybersecurity players who are involved in intrusion detection and antivirus and some of those things. So I'll talk more to the second category. In the second category, we all need to pay attention to the Cybersecurity National Action Plan and do the things that we can do.
So what you just talked about kind of really plays into my next question. New changes in cybersecurity policy in the government. How can industry really help support new policy and also the new U.S. CISO position?
Well, there's really two different types of industry players. There's the folks that are the traditional cybersecurity players who have been doing things like threat detection and antivirus, and then there's everyone else, and that's where Riverbed comes in. So I'll talk to the second category, and we all need to be paying attention to the Cybersecurity National Action Plan and do the things that we can do with our technology that makes it a lot safer to use and harder to hack. For instance, doing things like integrating CAT card readers into your systems, supporting multi-factor authentication, getting data out of the places where it's not needed or not supposed to be. So that's something we all need to do, and we pay a lot of attention to at Riverbed. But there's also opportunities for companies everywhere. So if you look at Riverbed as an example, we've been doing network configuration and planning and network performance management for over 30 years. And one of the key tenets of a good cybersecurity posture is knowing everything that's going on in your network and using big data analytics to recognize people who have every right to be there but are doing things that they shouldn't normally do, whether it's based on their role or their geography, and then passing that information to the cybersecurity team or the CISO so that you can find the bad actors who are operating from the inside. So we're very proud that we've been involved with several high-profile cybersecurity incidents in the last couple of years where we helped identify bad actors that were on the inside.
Awesome. And why do you think IT modernization is such an important topic right now across federal government? It's something that we hear talked about in news all the time right now. It's such a big focus. What does the government really need to modernize the most?
Well, the reason it's so big right now, I think it's for two reasons. Number one, we've been talking about cybersecurity all morning. So cybersecurity is driving a lot of change in IT infrastructure, but at the same time, the way people consume IT applications has changed dramatically just in the last few years. If you look, for instance, at, as an example, Mr. Scott said this morning that if you look at the way your IT architecture is designed and if it mimics the way your organizational chart looks, you've got a problem. So IT needs to be redesigned to be more citizen-centric and customer-centric and puts the customer first. So it's a combination of addressing all of the issues associated with cybersecurity, but also making the IT more user-friendly to how applications are consumed today. With the advent of cloud services and Agile and DevOps technology pushing more applications out to mobile devices, a whole new IT architecture is needed in order to serve the constituents.
Great. And kind of looking ahead, we just talked about how IT infrastructure is or how people are using IT has changed a lot in the past few years. What do you see kind of ahead for federal IT in 2017? Looking into the future, what do you see?
Well, more cybersecurity, that's for sure. It's going to become more and more the number one design criteria for people designing software applications, for people delivering infrastructure to the government. Cybersecurity is going to have to be built in. So that would be number one. But number two, we expect to see a big uptick this year in the way that people design and deploy IT infrastructure to the edge sites. So the data center has evolved rapidly in the last decade and certainly in the last few years. So with the evolution of cloud services and more applications being deployed from government shared service centers, the IT infrastructure, especially at the edge sites, needs to be completely redone. We think the edge sites and the network to the edge sites has been left behind, and people still have a lot of legacy architecture out there which doesn't support the new paradigm in the cloud era. So we expect to see a big wave towards how do we support the remote users and how do we support the customers on their terms.
Awesome. Well, I think that's all we have time for today. Thanks for joining me, and thanks for watching. I'm Samantha Ellinger with FedScoop TV.